Today we're taking a single chicken and we're turning it into 5 different meals. It's a great way to save money. It's also a great way to save time. Of course, the best way to do this is to take a whole chicken and to break it down into its different parts. Now, we don't have time to go through that today, but I have filmed a video on how to do that. So go and watch that first, and then we can get into this video. Link is in the description. Now, the 5 meals that we're going to make today are super affordable, super tasty, and just generally easy to make. So this is a great way to feed your family throughout the week using a single chicken. Now, on the menu today, we're going to make chicken schnitzel, chicken katsudon. We've got a noodly ramen-like dish. We're going to make chicken burrito bowls. And last up, we're going to make some chicken rissoles. So let's get straight into how to do that. First up, I'm going to cook 1 cup of rice in my rice cooker. I love that feature. Now for the burrito bowl, we're going to use the chicken thigh. I think it's the best cut of meat for this. It won't overcook that easily. And chicken thigh, I think, just has the best flavor. To begin, we're going to put a spice rub over the chicken. First off, we'll add a good pinch of salt, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 heaped teaspoon of paprika, a small teaspoon of chili flakes, 1 teaspoon of ground coriander, and a small teaspoon of oregano. I'll also crack some black pepper in there as well. Last up, we'll add some olive oil to that. We'll get our hands in there and mix everything together. So everything is nice and coated. And there you go. And we'll just set that aside to cook later. Now you can pick and choose your vegetables for the burrito bowl. For today, I'm just going to use what I've got. I'd love to include some tomatoes, but I ate them all throughout the week, so we're just going to have to make do with what we've got. Things like corn, capsicum, cucumber, carrot, red onion, all of those will work. I suggest you just give it a go anyway. So I'm just going to dice up some vegetables that I have in the fridge, starting with a red onion. I'm going to chop these up relatively fine, just because they'll be going in the dish raw. I'm actually going to use just half a red onion for the raw component. I'm going to cook this down with another part of this dish. I'm just going to slice this onion up into thin slices. We're going to make our black beans now. We're going to get a relatively large fry pan. I'll just add some oil to that fry pan there. Add our garlic to that. Add our onion to that as well. We'll let that start cooking. Then we will add 1 can of black beans to the mix. Cooking them this way, we've just built a bit more flavor by adding the garlic and the onion as well, rather than just cooking the beans by themselves. And a pinch of salt. I'm going to set these beans off to the side because they're done now. Next up, let's cook the chicken. So again, we'll get a pan on a high heat for now. Now that pan is nice and hot, we'll add some oil to it, and we'll get our chicken. Let's put that straight in the pan. To build a nice amount of color, I'm just going to leave that there for a little while, a few minutes. We do, however, want to make sure that this doesn't burn. Very important. Now that chicken's well cooked, I'm just going to set that aside to rest. There are some darker looking spices in there, but nothing too crazy. So I'm just going to use that as flavor. I'm going to add some frozen corn to that pan, stir it around, and that will be ready. We'll add a dash of salt to the corn. I'll set that aside as well. To bring a last bit of color to this dish, I'm just going to run my knife through some coriander. We'll use this through the rice, and we'll also use it as a garnish as well. Now that we have everything here, we can just about assemble this dish. We'll load up with a bit of rice first. I actually like to sprinkle some coriander through the rice. We'll take some black beans, some red onion, some corn, of course our chicken, bit of avocado to the mix there, of course our coriander as a garnish on top. And lastly, to finish it off, I like to drizzle a bit of olive oil on top. That looks pretty good to me. For the chicken katsudon, we of course have to crumb the chicken. We're going to crumb all of the chicken that we have, which is a good thing. It saves us time from both the chicken katsudon recipe and also the chicken schnitzel recipe as well. So let's go ahead and crumb the chicken. First up, we need to prep the chicken. Of course, from 1 whole chicken, we get 2 chicken breasts. We're going to divide these up into 2, not only to help it cook more evenly, but to stretch that out into more meals. So to do that, we take our chicken breast, we place it down on the chopping board. What we're going to do, we're going to run our knife down through the chicken like this, so that we essentially separate it into 2 individual chicken fillets. And I haven't done a perfect job there at all, but you can see there are now 2 distinct halves that are roughly about the same thickness. We'll do that for the other chicken breast. And there you have it. We've separated the chicken breasts into 4 different fillets that we can use for these 2 different meals. Now we'll crumb this chicken a very traditional way. First we'll have a flour bowl, then we'll have an egg bowl, then we'll have the crumb bowl. You'll see what I mean in a sec. To that first bowl, I'm just adding a lot of flour. We don't need that much flour. Okay, we've tidied that up. We've got a flour bowl. We'll add some eggs into this one. We'll just whisk those up. And for this, I'm just using panko breadcrumbs. Put that in a bowl. Now the last thing that I'll do is just to add a pinch of salt to all of the bowls there. That will just keep that seasoning balanced throughout the mix there. The way that we'll do this, we'll have one dry hand and one wet hand. As in one hand that does the moving of the chicken from one bowl to the next, and one clean hand so we can do things if need be. So again, we're going to take our chicken, put it in the flour bowl, get that nice and well dusted. We'll then put that in the egg bowl. We'll then get that in the crumb bowl. And you really want to press the crumbs in so we get a nice crispy coating. Then we take it out and there we go. That's one chicken fillet done. We just do that to the rest of them. Chicken in the flour, then in the egg, then the crumb. Really press it in. The last thing I like to do there is any leftover crumb that you have, just tip it over the chicken and press it in. You'll get a much crispier exterior that way. Now to cook these, I'm actually going to do it in the air fryer. There might be a bit of contention about that, but I think it does a really good job. Of course, you can deep fry those if you like, but I'm just going to put a bunch of oil on that, straight into the air fryer for about 20 minutes, flip them over halfway, and you'll see we'll get a lovely crispy, crunchy exterior from that. I'm going to spray them first. So I'll take these off to the air fryer. Now I'll put these in at 200 degrees for 10 minutes, flip, and then another 10 minutes, they should be done. To finish off the katsudon, I've just got one brown onion here. Going to top and tail that, slice down the middle. And all I'm going to do here is just slice really thinly. And I'll set that aside. I'm then going to get a non-stick pan. I'm just using a carbon steel pan in this instance, and set that on to a medium heat. Now to that pan, I'm going to add half a cup of chicken stock, three tablespoons of soy sauce, and 2 tablespoons of mirin. And then I'll also add the onions. So while that is cooking, I'm just going to whisk up 2 eggs that we're then going to add to this mix in just a moment. Once that onion has gone translucent, we take our egg and we pour that mixture in. And we want to make sure that it's covered evenly throughout the pan, because that is what's going to set so we can actually take it out of the pan once it's cooked. I'm going to lower this heat down to as low as it goes. I'm just going to let this cook for a little while. And while that's still cooking, the traditional way to do this is actually to take the crumb chicken and actually place that on top so that it absorbs some of the flavor. Now, of course, because we've got 2 chicken breasts to make the 2 meals, you'll have to do this twice, or you can cook them both at the same time in different pans. Either way is fine, but we're almost ready to serve this up now. The last step for this is to get some spring onion and to slice these nice and thin as a garnish. So I've just put some of that rice that we made into the bowl. We're then going to put our katsu on top, then top that off with our green onion. And there you have it. This is one of my all-time favorites, chicken katsudon. Super easy meal, super tasty meal, all from that one chicken. And we've saved a bit of money already. The next meal that we've got is the chicken parmi. All we've got to do for this is put a bit of passata or tomato sauce on the top, sprinkle with some cheese, and put it back into the air fryer, and we are done. So this is just some passata that I made earlier. You can of course use pre-made passata from another bottle. That is absolutely fine. I just had this lying around in the fridge and I needed to use it, so that's exactly what I'm doing. So put that on top there. Now all I'm going to do here is just put some shredded mozzarella cheese on top, as simple as that. So I'll take these 2, just place them into the air fryer, and then I'm going to put that into the air fryer at about 200 degrees. This shouldn't take long because it's already cooked. I think it will need maybe 7 or 8 minutes. We'll check in and make sure that that cheese is nice and melted and nice and golden as well. So I'm just going to pull those chicken parmigianas out of the air fryer. And in all fairness, I think they look pretty good. Now you can serve this with anything, with chips, with a salad, you name it. But for today, just to keep it simple, I'm going to serve this with a pre-made salad that I got from the supermarket there, just to save time. Next up, we'll make the chicken rissoles. These are a great and easy meal as well. To do this, we're going to use the chicken tenders and the chicken drumsticks. We're actually going to mince that meat up with a bunch of herbs to keep it tasty. I'll show you what I mean. Now, I'm fortunate enough to have a KitchenAid with a mincing attachment, so I'm going to use that to mince down the meat. But if you don't have one of those, a food processor would work really well. And if neither of these are an option to you, well, you can just chop up the meat really, really finely. That will be absolutely fine. It'll be just as good as using one of these. I'm just using this for convenience. So here I've just got the chicken drumsticks, which I've removed the meat from, and I've also got the chicken tenders. We're going to mince all of this up right now, but we're going to fill this out with some breadcrumbs as well. So we'll get quite a lot of food out of this. To a bigger bowl now. Again, I'm just adding breadcrumbs into here. I'm going to add about half the volume of chicken. This will help bind everything together. To that, I'll add a good pinch of salt, 1 egg, some parsley I chopped up before, and a good crack of pepper. I'll just add a dash of olive oil as well. I'll then get my hands in there, mix everything together, and once that's all combined, all that's left to do is to cook that down. To do that, I'm just going to get a pan on a high heat. We'll preheat that for a little bit. Once the pan is hot, we'll add a good amount of oil to the pan. We can roll up our chicken rissoles and add them straight into the pan. After a few minutes, you can flip them. It should be looking nice and golden. And we'll give these a bit of time because we want to build up some nice color, but also we want to make sure that they're cooked the whole way through. So I flipped these over. I'm just going to let them sit there. And after a few minutes, I'm going to put the lid on just to help them cook the whole way through. After a short while, these should be just about done and cooked the whole way through. They're looking awesome. They're looking really good. I'll take these off the heat. Now for the chicken rissoles, you can serve this with anything as well. You can serve it with rice, you can serve it with potatoes, salad, you name it. This honestly is just a pre-made salad that I got from the supermarket. Just keeps it nice and easy and saves you a lot of time in the long run. Now the final meal that we're going to make is a ramen-y noodle-like dish from the chicken broth that we actually made in the crock pot earlier. So we're going to need to boil down some noodles. I've just got some udon noodles here that I'm going to boil in some water. I'll do that off camera, but use whatever noodles you have and just follow the packet instructions. And to make sure that this meal is filling enough, I'm going to soft boil 2 eggs. The key to this is the timing. So I've got a pot of boiling water ready. We are going to boil these for 6.5 minutes exactly. That's how we get that lovely jammy texture where the center of the egg isn't quite set, but is kind of half set. Now a great tip when we're boiling these eggs, because quite often when you put them in the water, they explode because there is a bit of gas inside at the very bottom here. What you can do, you can take a safety pin and being very careful, you can actually poke a hole into the egg just like that and take it out. As soon as that 6.5 minutes is up, I'm going to take those eggs and place them directly in to ice cold water. And there we go. With our pin trick, none of those eggs have exploded. So it's a good one to remember. So once those noodles are cooked, all that is left to do is to serve everything up, putting them straight into a big bowl. And here's that chicken stock that we've made, and that just looks fantastic. So all I'm going to do here is simply just pour it in. We'll save half of that for the other bowl of ramen that we can make. We'll take our 6.5 minute boiled egg, and you can see that is perfectly cooked. Put that one in just there. Also not entirely traditional. I've got some bok choy that will just go nicely in there that I needed to use up as well. To make this just a bit more complete, I'm going to grate down some carrot, put that in with it. I've got a little bit of corn here as well. We can top that off with some spring onion. And there we go. There's the 5th and final dish from that chicken broth. As easy as that. So all this just from one single chicken. Now hopefully you can see the value in this because you can make 5 different meals. We have our chicken burrito bowl, our chicken rissoles, we have made a chicken parmigiana, we've got our chicken katsudon, and of course from the chicken carcass we made a stock, which we then made into ramen. And of course this is just one half of what we made. We actually made 2 servings for each of these plates. We've got heaps of food from one chicken. So that is all for now, but until next time, happy cooking.